What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we caught ourselves a couple more Pokemon to add to the list, Lillipup and Patrat. We also made it here to Accumula Town, went through a little bit of a tutorial of the Pokemon Center and Pokemart with Professor Juniper, and also met these new fellas named Team Plasma. We don't really know anything about them, we just know that their goal is to apparently at least convince people to liberate Pokemon. And then this mysterious figure named N approached us, and we did a battle with him before he scurried off, won the battle, so that's what's most important. And now, with all of that done, let's head on out. I'm going to miss the music for you, Accumula Town, but we have to head into the next area. Now, between each and every single major route and major city are these gates. These gates are actually kind of important because they're going to tell you all sorts of different information. There's some things about the upcoming routes and towns you're going to. There will be talks on the billboards about like weather patterns and whatnot. And you also have this information board that you can take a look at. That's got just it's basically the same thing, but it just gives you a little bit more detail. You can zoom in on it in case it's a little hard to read. But yeah, all this interesting stuff can be gotten in here. Sometimes you'll also have interesting people to talk to in here, although not in this one. So let's head on out of here. And as soon as we make it onto this route, a cross transceiver is ringing. Hello? Levi, it's your mom. How are things? Are you and your Pokemon getting along and enjoying your journey so far? I needed to talk to you, so I called, but I'm going to hang up the cross transceiver now because I'm right behind you. Levi, I finally caught up with you, and look how far you've come already. Professor Juniper said that you were probably headed for Striaton City by now. I have another present for you. Levi, try these on. And we get our obligatory pair of running shoes. When you're wearing the running shoes, you can go anywhere in a flash. Let me read you the instructions. Hold the B button to run faster than normal, put on the running shoes, and tear around to your heart's content. That's what it says. I bought these a long time ago and stashed them away somewhere. I found them when I was cleaning up. Guess it's good to clean occasionally, especially when you destroy your room. Levi, you understand that you're never really alone, right? You're with Pokemon, you have friends, and you're always in my thoughts. That's all right then. Enjoy your trip. Aw, Mom. Well, we're here, we're in a new route, and as I said at the end of the last episode, there is a new Pokemon that is obtainable on this route. So before I go any further, let's discuss Purloin. Purloin is a pure dark type that evolves into Liepard at level 20, and I'd say this line only sits about one tier above the Patrat line. If the Patrat line is F tier, then this is D tier, which isn't saying much. Its uniqueness is pretty much driven by the fact that it's a dark type that you can get really early on, which was kind of novel at the time that Black and White came out. It has a balanced attack and special attack stat, which are both alright, and its speed stat is good, but all you have to do is look at this thing funny and it falls over. Its defenses and HP stat are all atrocious, and it's very hard to keep this thing alive, while simultaneously not hitting hard enough to be a speedy sweeper either. You can try to incorporate it into your team with a decent amount of effort, but I have to warn you now that Generation 5 has a lot of excellent dark types that you'll encounter later on that will do Liepard's job a whole lot better, and then some. And with that said, let's proceed. Alright, what's up, lady? Battles between Pokemon trainers are serious affairs you can't run from. Okay, well, you're not going to actually battle me, so why don't we head up into the grass? Unfortunately, I don't have any repels on hand, so I can't really do anything with that, but I am going to take the opportunity to fight some Pokemon as I go, because I could certainly use more levels, so I do apologize when I run into random encounters, and then I just cut away to when it's all over, so see you in a second. Now, right now, I'm mostly just doing... Wow, that was mean. Right now, I'm mostly just doing some soft leveling, mainly because there is a much better leveling tactic that will be available to us not too long from now, don't you worry. So just bear with me, but for right now, yeah, like when I go through this route in particular, I am going to be stopping at times to battle some of the Pokemon that we come across. But as we get out of the grass, we're going to be encountering our very first trainer in the game, which is, again, kind of an obligatory staple at this point. It's a youngster. That's almost always who we go up against first in any Pokemon game. Really, Generation 1 was the only one that bucked that trend. Was a youngster first, or was it just a bug catcher? I think it was just a bug catcher. Here we go. We're going to be taking on a Patrat, and this is where we really need to start getting to work. So, another notable thing about Generation 5 is they slightly changed the way in which leveling works. So, up through Generation 4, leveling was a bit more of a flat affair. Like, yeah, you obviously benefited a lot more from battling Pokemon that were much higher levels from you, but there wasn't really a scaling system. Every single Pokemon had a set experience yield, and the amount of experience that you got correlated to what level they were at. In Generation 5, that leveling system works on a bit more of a curve. So the closer in level those Pokemon are to your Pokemon means that you're going to get a lot more experience than you would otherwise. For instance, if we're going to talk about comparing this game to, like, let's say Generation 3, okay? And my level 9 Snivy fights a level 5 Pokemon and takes it down. In Generation 3, that level 5 Pokemon would be giving a flat amount of experience. But in Generation 5, that level 5 Pokemon will be giving less experience. However, if my Snivy were to then take on like a level 15 Pokemon and somehow miraculously beat that, I would get a lot more experience in this game than I would in Generation 3. Does that make sense? It's just sort of a curve. I'm not going to like visualize it for you or anything. Just understand that you have to take level gaps into consideration when you're talking about leveling in this generation more than you had to previously. Let's talk to this guy. Hey, you! I'm going to do something amazing. Want to watch? Sure, just don't do anything inappropriate. Okay, wait 1 second. Hey, were you watching? You can take a shortcut by jumping off the ledges. Amazing, eh? Well, now that we've abandoned him down there, let's proceed. I don't think you're not a trainer, are you? If Pokemon doesn't have enough energy to fight, just walk on the road. Pokemon only appear in tall grass. Well, on some routes you get that opportunity, and on others you don't. In fact, this one in particular, as you can see, has a ledge blocking us, so we can only go so far through this route. But let's continue. There's a reason I bought potions, is specifically so that I can level in areas like this. We've almost got Snivy to level 10, which is pretty darn good. But we're obviously just going to be kind of plodding our way through here. Now, before I go any further, I want to address something that I have seen often as a complaint in my Pokemon Let's Plays thus far, so people can understand what I'm doing here. Pokemon games are not very hard games, okay? These games are not super difficult to play through. Now, by that logic, people would say, well, then why don't you do like randomizers, Nuzlockes, all those other modes that make things more of a challenge? Well, I don't believe in doing that stuff because to me, it's not the way I like to play Pokemon. The way I've always liked to play Pokemon is the hardest way, which is having a full team of 6. I mean, it is the hardest way. The less Pokemon you have, the stronger your team is going to be. And that's just because there's, more experience distributed between less Pokemon. And that it should make sense when you just think about it logistically. But here's the thing. I am not somebody who picks Pokemon based on their strengths and weaknesses necessarily. That's not to say I don't understand them, because I do. I had a lot of people come out and criticize me for a couple of things in previous games. Generation 2, the fact that I ran with only evolutions, a lot of people were mad at me that I didn't run with a starter. And, well, it was because it didn't fit the nature of the experiment. In Generation 3, I got a lot of criticism for not picking up a Ralts because that is kind of the default thing to do in Generation 3. Grab a Ralts, it's really good early on, and it carries you through the entire game. So a lot of people are going to be looking at this game and seeing some of the Pokemon that I'm going to bypass and going, what is wrong with you? It's because I'm not picking my teams to show off the Pokemon that everybody everyone picks every single time they play through these games that are the best. That is not the point here. In fact, my explicit goal is to pick Pokemon that people don't use as often that are still relatively good. Now, that's not to say that's going to be entirely true with my team. There will be a couple of main staples on my team by the end of this game. I can promise you that. But as you can see here with Snivy, for instance, I am doing something a little unconventional. I feel like Oshawott is the more popular pick with Tepig right behind it. Snivy seems to kind of get the short end of the stick more often than not. And, well, I want to show what he's actually capable of as we go, but also show what other Pokemon that are, like I said, not super widely used are capable of. I don't pick my teams based on who's the best. You just have to get used to that fact when you're going through these Let's Plays with me. I am doing it to show off Pokemon that do not get the spotlight enough, or at least as far as I feel. So with all that said, we could head into the next area, but I'm actually going to try to do battle against one more Pokemon just to push Snivy over to the level 11 threshold. Give me just a second. And there we go. All right, Snivy is now level 11, and as soon as we get up here... Oh, hi, Levi. Bianca's here. Hey, listen, let's have a Pokemon battle. Please. Pokemon I caught have become a little stronger. Ready or not, here I come. And I guess we don't have a choice in the matter. Let's fight Bianca. All right. Has she still got one Pokemon, or is she going to be rocking 2 this time? Indeed, it's 2. All right. That is nice to see. So she's going to be starting off with Lillipup before we end up ever seeing her Oshawott. I don't have a lot of Vine Whips left. In fact, I think I only have 1, so I'm going to have to be very sparing here. Let's just use some tackles as we go through here. Wrap is a move that I'm probably not going to be using much at all because it really doesn't have a place. It's a very weak move. It was extremely good back in Generation 1, but that's because it was broken back then, but hasn't really been all that great since. It's just nice for a little bit of extra damage when you're trying to whittle things down, because the one good thing about Wrap and all moves like it is that the additional damage whenever you trap something is set, so it doesn't care about type effectivenesses. So like if I were to use Wrap on a rock type, for instance, the initial damage would be weak, but the subsequent damage building up over the course of the next multiple turns would actually be pretty decent. So use that Vine Whip on Oshawott to get it down, almost out of the down and out, but I'm going to finish it off with a tackle. But hold on, Bianca's going to use a potion. So this is actually a pretty good moment to talk about the differences between Bianca and Charon's playstyles. Bianca is more akin to, or more likely to actually straight up heal her Pokemon, while Charon takes a bit of a different approach, and we'll be talking about that later. He doesn't really use potions until, I believe, the very end of the game. Woohoo! You're a tough cookie, Levi. I'm going to work hard on training my Pokemon so we won't lose anymore. Okay, bye-bye. Well, good luck, Bianca. I believe in you. Let's head on in to Striaton City. Welcome, everybody. The home of the first gym, but hold on a second. If we try to approach the gym and we can see it, take a look at this, it says, leader is nothing and triple trouble. What's this about? Are you looking for the gym leader? He's not here. He could be in the trainer school. If you want to challenge him, please go find him. The trainer school is not far from this gym. Well, I'll have to do that, but I want to also take a look around because there's a few people I can talk to that have some interesting things. First things first, this guy. Pokemon can be found in dark places too. That's when a Dusk Ball can do the trick. Here's one for you. We get a freebie. Nice. Dusk Ball works well at night or in a cave. Plus, its name is excellent. The Dusk Ball Dusk. So, Dusk Balls are honestly some of the best Pokeballs in the game ever since their introduction in Generation 5. They've been absolutely fantastic. Or was it Generation 4 that they were introduced? I could be jumping the gun on that a little bit. No, they were actually in 3. What am I saying? They were all the way back in Generation 3. Anyways, Dusk Balls are great because... or at least especially in games that actually have a clock system like this one does. So being able to catch them at night is really great. And then also in caves. They're not quite as overpowered now as they were in later games like, I don't know, Sword and Shield. But still incredibly good items. Now, I want to also draw your attention to something else. You'll notice that this shop still only has standard Pokeballs and potions. This guy, I believe, has one new item. Heal Balls, yes. So Remedial Pokeball that restores the caught Pokemon's HP and eliminates any status problem. It says Remedial because Heal Balls have the same catch rates as basic Pokeballs. But like I said, or like it says, it actually fully heals them. So if you want to use it on your team immediately, that is a nice bonus. But I want to point out something with the Mart and show that he has Pokeballs and potions again. That's it. In previous Pokemon games, you usually would get more and better items at the marts as you made it further and further throughout the game to different towns. Generation 5 handles things a little bit differently. It's actually based on the number of badges that you own. You'll start to see the stock begin to increase. So once we get the first gym badge here, more items will be available for us to buy. But for now, there's a couple more people that I want to talk to and a couple more places I want to check out. There's a garden over here. And as we head down this way, there are a few things. So first things first, we got an item here. This is a great ball. I will definitely take that. And then I also believe that there is another item somewhere. We can't go past this guy. If we try to, he's going to stop us. You don't seem to have any gym badges. With your lack of experience, you'll have a hard time in the future. Here's some friendly advice. Challenge a gym leader in this town and test your ability. And backwards, he sends us. So yeah, we cannot proceed any further. There's not really anything else going on in these gardens, so I guess I'll head back this way. I could have sworn there is another item back this way. Oh, there it is. Yes, yes, yes. So it's right as you enter town. If you take a left behind these trees, there's an item back here, and this is an X speed. This is just a basic speed increase on your Pokemon without having to have a specific move of some kind. So just keep it for a rainy day. It's got its uses. Anyway, we're going to do one last thing before we end this episode, and that is, and just making sure that I've actually healed here, which I have, we're going to head on in here. This is the trainer school, everybody. Now, I'm not going to talk to anybody in particular except for this guy here at the end. Yep, what's up, Charon? When a Pokemon is poisoned, its HP decreases while it's battling. Hey, Levi, have you come looking for the gym leader? Yes. He was here talking about Pokemon types until just a few moments ago. Maybe you walked right past him. By the way, Levi, will you have a battle with me? I want to test how important items are in battles. Let's see how effective my items are. Or maybe I should test how well I can battle without items. Anyway, this is an indoor match, so let's battle without getting too rough. So when Charon's talking about items, he's not talking about potions like what Bianca used. He's actually talking about held items, and that's something you're going to have to look out for in this very first fight. So this is going to immediately get a little bit on the Trixie side, because he's going to begin with Tepig, who obviously has the type advantage to Snivy. Here's how I'm going to do this. I am going to try to actually wither its defenses down a little bit. We're going to get in a couple Leers. Then I'm willing to heal with Snivy. This is going to hurt a fair bit. The only thing I'm really worried about is a burn here. That could absolutely mess me up in this fight. This was actually a lot more challenging than Bianca's for that reason and that reason alone. So there's another one. Super effective. Okay. I'm going to get in one tackle before I bother to use a potion. But here's the thing. When we get Tepig down, it's going to eat a berry, an Oran berry to be precise, which heals it by 10 additional HP. Okay. Tail Whip is not going to actually affect the damage of Ember. So I should actually be okay to throw a tackle out at it again. We can get it low. Tepig's going to use another Tail Whip here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a bit of a switcher. Well, I guess I could keep Snivy out for this part. We got Tepig down, which is going to give Arthur some experience. And then we got Purloin. So I'm going to keep Arthur out, excuse me. And we're just going to continue to do damage here. I'll just use a single Leer and then a Vine Whip. I don't imagine this Purloin's going to be able to do so much damage that it knocks Arthur out in one go. We'll see, though. 6 damage. You know, it's honestly not so bad. I'm going to chance it and hope that I don't get hit by a critical hit here. And, ooh, nearly one-shot it. Arthur, hang in there. And let's finish this off with a tackle. Good job, Arthur. You did a great, great job there. Those Leers really helped out. And he gets to level 12. Only a few more levels away from actually evolving. That quickly, I know. Losing to you means that I still have a lot to learn, and we get some money for winning. So, learning to use items well is definitely important then. Oh, here, Levi, I'll give you these berries. And we get some Oran berries for our own uses, which I am definitely going to be using in the upcoming gym battle. If you have Pokemon this kind of berry to hold, it will eat to heal up when its HP goes down in battle. But if you give Pokemon man-made items like potions to hold, they can't use them. Well, good luck then. Thanks, Charon. And with that, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon White. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. In the next episode, we are not going to be challenging the gym directly. We are going to be talking to this guy out front, but you're going to see because there's something else we need to do first before we go any further. We might have time to maybe get it done. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm going to heal up first, and then we'll start the next episode by talking to the man out in front of the gym. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.